You have to be here for this. Hello? Oh, you look
Hey,
pretty.
hey, how are you, Kendra?
Yeah, don't you look good? What's your name, honey?
I'm Ada.
Adele. Have you been here before?
Yes, in
Oh,
New York when I was in New York back in October last year.
okay. This must be the update show. You have an update too?
Well, I was here. I met a lot of guys, but quite honestly, none of them were. One of them actually tried to rob me. He had all these stories about how he was sending me like essentially links to like $1 million homes in California. He's trying to buy a home. I'm just like, yeah, that's all bullshit. I looked him up in Instagram, and he wasn't all he claimed to be. But yeah, I did meet a few people after the show, but none of them
I
panned
think
out.
I think your requirements was a lot, if I remember.
Well, yes. I mean, you thought it was a lot, but I mean, me asking for a guy to make half of what I make, or less than, quite honestly, half of what I make. I think I said if a guy doesn't make $75,000, he can't really date me, because quite honestly, Kendra, I make I'm almost four times that. So
No,
it's
listen, I
yeah.
understand that. My question is, are those men trying to date you?
Well, I mean, a lot of the guys that I've dated in the past, they make 100K. They
Right, but
make
to, but are they agreeing to what you want because you want to settle down, correct?
Yes, I want to settle down, and quite honestly, I feel like the last guy I dated was just completely out there. But I think that for me, most guys that I've met, the money hasn't really been the main problem, because like I date men that make over 100K. I think it was just like, my ex-boyfriend, he was just coming out of a divorce, so he wasn't ready to get married, right now, just finishing a divorce. And that's what it really was. So the money hasn't really been the big issue. Like it's not like I'm not dating men that make, the money that I want. It's just that they just haven't been in the right place.
Okay, well let's refresh. I don't remember everything.
Okay.
Tell me your name again, honey.
So I'm Ada. My
Ada.
name is
And Ada, where are
African.
you
Yes,
calling
I
us
was born in
from?
Nigeria.
Where are you calling us from?
I live in Houston, Texas.
Houston. How old are you?
I'm 44.
44. Do you have any kids?
Yes, I have two children. The oldest one is 20. The younger one is 15. So they're pretty older kids.
Both by the same man?
No, they're two different times in my life. There's no way I'm hanging around with one man for 5 years just doing
You don't
what?
want to hang with a man for 5 years? Do you want to get
Not
married?
not if I'm married to him, then that's fine. But I'm a Christian, and I don't feel like living with a man or being with a man without marriage for a long time. It's okay. So I couldn't be with a man without marriage for 5 years.
But so you're a Christian, but it's okay to have a baby without being married.
Well, you sin. It's not okay to sin, but we sin, right? So you have sex is a sin. You get pregnant. You don't abort it because you don't want to sin anymore. Like you don't want to sin further, right? So I kept both my kids, and I'm very happy I did. I kept both my kids because I didn't want to have an abortion. That's really it, quite
Okay,
honestly.
fair enough. So, okay, have you ever been married?
No,
No, never. And what's your zodiac sign, honey?
Capricorn. They say I'm too serious,
Capricorn.
but that's who I am.
And what do you do for a
I'm the first.
living?
I'm a clinical trial manager, which means I run clinical
You
trials like
do what,
the
honey?
COVID.
Say it again.
I I'm a clinical trial manager.
Clinical
So
trial
yeah,
manager.
so I run clinical trials, just like COVID vaccine, things like that. I bring new drugs to market.
Okay, so this is Ada. How you say it? Is it Ada?
Yeah, Ada.
Ada.
Yeah.
Ada, 44, two children, Capricorn. She's a clinical trial manager, Houston, Texas, right?
Yes.
Okay, what kind of man you looking for, babe?
So I'm looking for a man who is emotionally healthy. Like quite honestly, I feel like the number one thing that I want in a man is for him to be emotionally and mentally healthy. I want him to be ready for marriage, because like I haven't, Kendra, I was on your show October last year. I had a very nasty breakup in July. I haven't had sex since July last year. I'm still staying celibate. I'm literally
Oh,
just doing
that's
this for
what it
myself.
was.
Yes,
That's what it was. You're
yes,
celibate, right?
yes, yes.
And
So
you're
I'm still
celibate
staying,
until marriage.
yes,
So
yes,
all the men
because
you've been dating, you haven't had sex.
for the past year, yes,
Right.
yes,
So that's what it was. I knew there was something about our interview that was,
yeah.
because I was like, I've heard this a couple times. So your goal is no sex until marriage.
Yes,
And you want the guy
that's correct.
to make how much again?
Well, I just said, like, for me, I don't really put money as a criteria, right? Because I have money, Kendra. My money's not the big, like, I want to be happy. I want to do things. But I just feel like if a man doesn't make 75K, it's hard for him to be my man, right? Because, you know, I love to travel. I love to do things that need money, right?
Okay,
So if he doesn't have it,
you want a man that makes, okay, so
I
at
want to
least
say at least
75K.
75K, yeah.
Okay. Agree. So he has to be a Christian man.
Yes.
Does he
Yes.
have to
has
look
be
a certain
Christian.
way?
No, not really. I'm not fat, so I can get up for the Kendra come. I'm not fat, like, but I still struggle with my weight. I have my little, stomach here. So I could get fit with a man. So I don't need him to be like all fit. I like my man, with a nice body, but he doesn't have to have it now. We could work towards it together because I need to lose my COVID 20 pounds still.
So, okay. And then how much, and what's the age range you wanted to date?
So right now, I'm really looking. I have a 20-year-old, so I don't want you to be too close to my son's age. So I would say maybe about 34, all
You'll
the way.
So you'll go 10 years younger.
Yes, I'll go 10 years younger to 34, and I will go, about 10 years older, 15 years older to like 59. I don't want him to be 60 though. That would be too close to my mom's age.
Got you. For the people that want to wait for sex until marriage, I respect it. Do you go to church?
Yes, I go to church. Yes.
Are there any men in your church?
That's a very good question. I haven't really tried to think, like, I don't socialize in church. So I go to mass. I'm a Catholic, so I go to church and come back. I don't do like social events in church. So I don't know. I haven't
start doing that because I feel like the people who are strong with, like, you have to find a person that believes in that, right? A like-minded man.
That's true.
And that, because you're saying that that's not negotiable. You're not having sex until marriage.
No, it's not negotiable because it's kind of where I am. I just that's where I am. Yes.
Right. And how long? And you've been on that journey for how long?
Since July last year.
Okay, since July last year. So yeah, I just feel like that's a very like-minded situation, right? There's not a lot of people that subscribe to that.
I agree.
So if you are a person that wants to wait for marriage, I respect it. Do you? You should definitely socialize at church events. You got to meet those type of men that are also on that type of page, and you got to start there first. I don't personally know a lot of wealthy men that subscribe to that. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
And quite honestly, like, he doesn't even have to be wealthy. We can get money together. I'm where I'm comfortable with money, but I'm trying to go where I'm even more rich with money, right? So I don't even need to marry a millionaire, but he like I said, if you don't make 75K, it's hard to hang. That's for sure.
What about, so what are your other deal breakers?
So my deal breakers is quite honestly just stability, like mentally. I just feel like a lot of men, I don't know what it is. I know societal pressure is heavy on everybody, men, women right now. But my deal breaker is just me not being able to know who you are. Like, just be real with me. Even if you're, I don't know, just be real. I'm a very black and white person. I tend to, even at work, they've called me too black and white. I tend to pretty much say things as they are. And I'm Capricorn, I'm straightforward. So don't come to me lying. I don't like liars. If I catch you on a couple of lies, then I don't really trust you anymore. I can't believe a word from your mouth if I've caught you on 3 lies, right? So my deal breakers would be like just mentally healthy liars, cheaters. I can't do cheaters because I feel like I'm a beautiful woman. I can cheat. So I don't think it's fair for a man to cheat on me. I'll cheat right back. It has to be fair. I don't do unfairness. No.
Okay. And we already got to the money. Does he have to look a certain way?
No, like I said, no, just, like, even if you're a little overweight, we can get fit together for the wedding. I'm not too picky when it comes to looks, but we have to have chemistry too.
All right.
It has to be a guy.
Let's do the Kendra Cam.
So let's, my room is a hot mess, so hopefully you don't see in the darkness.
Good. You look great.
Yeah.
Hair, you're definitely.
So I still have this you know, I have to work on it, but
It's
like,
fine,
yeah.
girl. It's life. I think we're so used to body
I
surgery that we don't appreciate natural body
I
anymore.
love to eat too much. That's my problem, Kendra. I love good food, so I eat way too
I
much.
think you look good. All right. What was your last relationship?
My last relationship was my ex. We broke up July last year.
Okay. And you wasn't celibate in that relationship though, right?
No,
Okay.
no. And after that relationship, I decided to, just kind of take back my power kind of thing. I just feel like a lot of times when a woman has sex with a man, she kind of lose some power. Like you just kind of feel like, you get emotionally entangled. Sometimes you're not thinking straight. Because I feel like I missed some red flags with this person. This person literally was a twinder swindler in my life. Like he literally took money from me. I lost $30,000 in that relationship. So I just feel like I lost sight and I feel like it's because, I was in love because I had sex with this man and, he literally duped me. So that's why I feel like I need to take my power back. I need to be able to have all my senses with me when I'm dealing with a man again.
Okay, fair enough. You don't have, also last time you had sex was a year ago. What are three
Yeah.
flaws you have to work on?
So number one, I'm not very patient. I feel like a lot of times I've been in relationships where I dismiss people just after like, one mess up or whatever. I'm not very patient. So I'm working on my patience for real. I have a second son. My 15-year-old helps me work on my patience. That boy is literally that child. So I'm working on my patience. Second thing I would say, hmm, my body. I feel like I want a better body. And I used to work out. I gained weight during COVID. I feel like my cheeks are way too fat. I need to lose some weight. And then the third thing will be I feel like men sometimes they like you to see something but not say it all out. So maybe not talk so much. Like just kind of not point out flaws. I guess when I see a flaw in a guy. So that would be the third thing. Just like learning
Okay,
to
and
keep
why would a guy
short.
be lucky to be with you?
I'm a beautiful woman, even though I'm not trying to have any more kids. I'm definitely like the perfect, date, life of the party. I'm not gonna be a downer at events. I'm very happy. I like to be happy. And I feel like right now in our world, some people are just miserable. They very negative. I'm very positive. I have a lot of hope. I can motivate the shit out of any guy. So I can definitely help, you get to even a higher place in your life.
Okay. All right, honey. How can the guy reach out to you, babe?
Well, on Facebook, I'm Princess Adar on Facebook, Princess Adar, and I'm also on Instagram at I am Ada Johnson.
Okay.
So Princess Adar on Facebook, I am Ada Johnson on Instagram.
And there you have it. Where are you from again? They're asking me.
I was born in Nigeria. So I've been in America half my life, but my accent, I've never tried to have an American accent. So this is just how I speak.
All right,
So
let's
I
see
was
what
born in
it does.
Nigeria.
Well, you keep me posted how it goes, boo. Hopefully, I mean, this
I
is stressful
will.
times. Hopefully, it
Hopefully,
works
I'll
out.
get better, man. Just be honest. You don't have to be rich. Just be honest. Don't come to me and tell me you're trying to buy $50 million house in California
I
when
don't
you
think
don't look
that's your
like that.
problem. I think it's going to be your problem that's finding a man that wants to marry you and agreeance of not having sex with you before you get that you would like. Because here's the thing, I think there are men that I had them on my show, but they're not the kind of men that most women want to date. I'm just gonna keep it honest with y'all. So I've had men come on the show that have stated they're not having sex until they get married, but they're also not men that women actually want to date. What happens is the kind of men y'all really want to date, a lot of times don't be going for that shit.
And quite honestly, Kendra, I am like, even though I've had two children, I've actually been I feel like my sex life is that of a 20 something year old. Because I was raised in Nigeria, Christian, where I've always felt like sex was a sin. So I haven't had a lot of sex in my life. And quite honestly, I want to have amazing sex. I want to have sex every single day. So it's not like I'm not sexual or I don't want to have sex. It's just like I would like to assess the guy, right? With all my brains intact. I would like not to have too much rose-colored lens in my eyes while I assess the guy.
Well, no,
right?
I understand your reasoning behind it. So I'm not negating that. I'm just saying that most women want the attractive man that has, money, swag, all these things, and then he's also sexually disciplined enough not to get have sex with you when you get married. I think he's got to find like-minded men, and I mean, this is usually a church thing. Like it's a Christianity thing that I hear the most of this. So you need to be in those circles. You need to meet men in those circles that also have those same, feelings. I think.
I feel you, and I completely agree. I understand. Yes, you're right. You're right about that. That's for true. That's for sure. It's not every man that can do that. But the way I think about it, we're grown. If and that's the thing for me, I made that rule for myself because I want to date for marriage. I feel like I could just date right now, right? I could have a boyfriend for the rest of my life. I don't have to marry him. But I want to date for marriage. And I just want to really, meet guys that want to date for marriage. And I feel like there's only a guy who wants to date for marriage that would even consider that, right? Because apart from, trying to assess a woman
like
for marriage.
I said, I meet those men. Those aren't the men y'all want, though. I've met them. They've been on my show, but they're not the type of man that most women want to marry.
So the regular guys that that are like just, do you think
I don't know
regular
men. All the men I know are rich.
So,
I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. They rich
so my
men,
point,
but they ain't regular.
Okay, so my point is, do you think that if a guy is ready for marriage and he meets the girl he wants to marry, that he'll be willing to wait a couple months?
No, that's not always true either. There's men who are ready for marriage, but they still are going to want to have sex before marriage because they want to know what they're marrying into. So even if a guy is ready for marriage, he doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to wait to have. None of the men I know are doing this. I'm just letting y'all know that right now. I don't know the man. I don't personally know the man. I'm not saying he doesn't exist, but I do not know a man that, well, I take that back because I do know men in church, but I feel like all those men have wives already. Like the kind of men that I feel that I'm thinking of, they're all married because I have, I go to church. So I do know men of church, but they married. But the men that I know that are single, that make more than 75K, no, they're absolutely not waiting for marriage to have sex. And a lot of men that have that are like, no, I hear this all the time. They're like, I need to know what I'm marrying. Like, see, women, we got to go in a second, but men have more of a realistic expectation of marriage, and women have a fantasy expectation of marriage. Women have, we're going to get married. It's happily ever after. You pay all the bills. Life is great. That's not really marriage.
You don't have to pay all the bills with me, but you have to pay rent.
Men who make money ain't trying to have a woman that pays bills, but it is what it is. But men are like, if I marry you, I want to make sure the sex is good because you don't want him to cheat. And if the sex is whack, that might make him go out. If a man's had a lot of sex, that's important to him. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. This is not what I'm saying.
But I understand. Men are more practical in things like that. I see what you're saying. And that makes sense.
Girlfriend, we got to go. I love you. Keep me posted how we're going.
All right. Love you. I will for sure. Bye.